Two left to go. So one of the sessions that I remember the most from last year, no pressure, Beccie, was yours.
I know.
So take it away. Welcome, Beccie. Let's give her another round of applause.
I had a panic on Tuesday, as many of you might have, and I thought my presentation was going to be something very different when I was on Facebook and all of a sudden got logged out. Did anyone else absolutely die? And I had lots of emails coming in, people going, I think I've been hacked. And I was like, thank God, it's not me. I haven't been hacked, just me. So I'm going to talk about Meta and Meta Business Suite. I might be teaching some of you to suck eggs because you might say, yes, I know what it is. But I'm going to do a really quick whistle-stop tour around Meta Business Suite. Just show of hands, does anyone here use Meta Business Suite? Brilliant. So if you do, hopefully you'll pick up something from this. But if you don't, I'm just going to give a really, really quick tour around Meta Business Suite and what it can help you do. I've done lots of videos. It's a bit but they're a little bit blurry, I think, because the file size was so big. But I don't think it will matter because we're not looking at the text. So when you log into Facebook, you've logged in, you switch into your profile, and you can access your Meta Business Suite along the left-hand side here. So over there. So to get to Meta Business Suite, if you click on Meta Business Suite, Mike, can you hear me? I feel like the that one's not working. Yeah. Okay, so when you've logged into Meta Business Suite, you've got your overview. It will bring up your draft post and your to-do list. So that actually brings up any posts that you haven't yet posted. It's got your drafts there. If you click on comments, which are underneath, it brings up any comments on your pages. So it's a really handy place that pulls all of your content in and all of the activity on your social media channels, so you can easily look at what you need to be doing. A little bit further down is your planner. Now, the planner enables you not only to schedule posts and plan your content for what's coming up, it enables you to look at what you have done and how well your posts have performed previously. So you can pull all of that data in. If you click further down, it says explore more ways to grow. Helpful little tip here. If you click on connect people who interacted with your content, you can actually invite them to like the page, because a lot of people interact with your content, but they haven't actually made the step to like your page or follow you. So that's a really quick way. You can do it manually by inviting the people that have reacted, so they've liked your posts. Or if they've commented on your post, you can just do the handy select all and invite them. So there's 88 invitations gone out, so potentially 88 more likes or followers to your Facebook page. Further down, it says what is new in Meta Business Suite. And this just gives you an update on the new plugins, any updates to the software, any updates to ads, and things like that if you're using Facebook ads. The next tab down is your planner. Your planner is really helpful. I still go out to businesses and still speak to people who don't know that you can schedule posts, which is, if you're sitting there thinking I've got to post at 9 o'clock, it's obviously a really helpful tool. So using your planner, oh, is that moving? No, hang on. Yeah, so using the planner enables you to map out all of your content and plan what you're going to do for the week ahead, the month ahead, or however far you want to plan. It also shows you what you have posted. So here I can see all of the posts that went out on the 4th of March. And if I click into any of them, it shows me what that post was. And in this case, the stories, I can see who viewed the story. But you can also get actual stats on each post. So I can click here and I can see what I've done there. And I click out. I can edit the post. I can reschedule the post. So if it's on my planner for future, I can go in and reschedule the time if I want to. You can look at it, as I said, you can look at it on a month or a week basis, and it pulls together all of my posts. So if you've got time, say on a Monday or whenever you want to sit down, you can sit there and plot out your content for the month ahead. And if I click into any of the posts, it shows me how well it's performed. So I can see how many comments there were, how many reactions there were on the post, how many link clicks, how many opens up of the images. And again, it shows me there, my stories, and who's viewed my stories. Although helpfully that one says viewer list unavailable. And it can be slow and it can be clunky. Sometimes it takes a while to pull through some of your data. That's the only thing I'd say with it. So you can schedule posts. I'm going to do a quick demo on how to schedule a post. So generally the busiest time on Facebook and Instagram, but Facebook in particular, is between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. The same goes with Instagram as well, really. So you want to be scheduling your posts for when your audience is online. Generally, that's either first thing in the morning, because everyone goes onto Facebook or Instagram first thing and looks at it, and then later on in the evening. So if you can schedule your post just before those times, so that your post is probably the first or second post on someone's scroll, then that's obviously the objective of trying to get more engagement. So on here, you can helpfully schedule content and create content for both your platforms, Facebook and Instagram. Just worth bearing in mind that you do want to tailor them slightly to the platform or make them slightly different. But you can tab across and create the content specifically for both platforms. So here I've uploaded my photo. Facebook's telling me that it isn't the right size, or it's not the ideal size. So I'm just going to crop my photo to make it suit the best. And there's lots of different options there. You can scroll across and change your point of focus. We're going to click the alt text. Alt text is really important. It's helpful for people that use screen readers, or also it's really helpful with SEO, because you're telling Facebook what your image is showing. You want to be really literal in your description here. So it's exactly saying what it says, what it's doing in the photo. So in this case, 2 people with bikes stand on a beach looking out to sea on the beautiful Suffolk coast. Once I've done that there, I'm going to add my text in. Now, this is my text for Facebook. In Facebook, you can obviously add live links in. So I will put a live link in there as a call to action. And obviously, because I've done this as a demo, I'll probably do like a spelling mistake or forget to do something. So I'm putting my hashtags in: the Suffolk coast, cycling. Oh, look, I put a pound sign instead of a hashtag. There we go, spring. And I'm going to add in my call to action. Worth always putting a call to action of some kind in most of your content. You want to encourage your audiences to do something, to engage with your content. Now, engaging might be opening up a photo, watching a video, clicking a link. So ideally, you want to do something which forces your audience to engage with your content in some way. The more someone engages with your content, the more likely your content is to be served in their feed. So there's lots of different options in targeting. And now I'm going to set my date and time down there. But first, I'm just going to tab across to Instagram. And I'm going to do the same post, but I'm going to just change it on Instagram. So this is a really handy way of putting your content out across both of the platforms without having to go to each individual platform. Worth noting, again, most of you might know this, that you can't put live links into text in Instagram. So there's no point putting copy and pasting a link in. The best way to encourage traffic to your website through Instagram is to click the link in bio. That's the only way you can click a live link in copy in Instagram. You can in stories, but not in a grid post. We try and use emojis. It's quite good. It breaks up the text. Also, they're read by screen readers. So I'm going to pick a nice spring flower for this particular post. Oh, and as I said, Facebook's glitchy, and at the moment it keeps adding, even though I want my flower to go up there, it keeps adding it at the bottom. So now I'm going to put in my hashtags. You can put more hashtags in on Instagram than you can on Facebook, or not that you can put as many as you want on Facebook, but they work in different ways. So you're not really limited, but you want to put more hashtags on Instagram than on Facebook, but choose some which are key to your area or your destination, and choose some which are key to your business and what you do. So just adding in my hashtags here. And then I'm going to click set the date and time. So we click on this tab, and I can schedule them to go out on Facebook and Instagram at whatever time suits me, whether that be daytime, evening. As I said, the busiest time is on the evening. So I'm going to change the time here. Facebook will also tell you when your most active times are. So you can choose based on when they're suggesting you'll get the most traffic, or you can choose to put them out at any time. And helpfully on that one, there were no active times on Facebook because Facebook was being funny, probably just before it had this meltdown. And I'm going to click save. Scrolling down, I'm going to click schedule. As you saw previously in the planner, if you schedule that post and you want to go back into it at a later date and change the time it goes out, you can go into it on your planner and you can change the date, and you can reschedule it, you can delete it, or you can edit it. And then when you go back into your planner, you'll see your posts there. So the next tab down, I think. We're going to move on to, is it going on there? Yep. We're going to move on to the content tab, which is just underneath. Now, your content tab is really helpful because it enables you to analyze the content that you've put out, each individual piece of content. So you can look at the feed and grid, mentions and tags, playlists, photos. There's lots of different information that it pulls in about each specific post. The date range can change, so I'm going to go with February and just click update. And then it will work its way backwards, so it starts with the most recent and going back. So I can see here my post there about the DMO conference. And actually Annie went, "Don't promote it anymore. We don't want any more people to come. We're full." So scrolling across here, you can see, you can look at the date published, the status, the distribution, the minutes viewed, seconds viewed, and that's on any videos that you've put out. If I click, put a bit of a longer date range in here and go into January, and just see how the January compared with February. So it's worth looking at your stats month on month and your activity, and whether you've been running any ad campaigns, whether that's fed into how well your content has performed. And I can see here, like I said, it's pulling through on this particular video, all the different stats for the video views. It pulls together your Facebook and Instagram, but you can toggle at the top where post type, so you can choose to just look at your photos, or you can choose to just look at stories, or just look at links. I can click into any post again, and I can look at how that post performed. So this particular post, which was a video, I can watch the video again if I want to. I can dive in a little bit further, and I can see the views on the different days. So obviously it goes up and then there's a steady amount of views, and I can see at what point people drop off from watching my videos. So you can see there they drop off at about 15 seconds in. So that makes me think, okay, maybe my videos are a bit long in future. I want to make them less, a bit shorter because they're dropping off. Here is really interesting because it says who is watching, and it shows how they've engaged, where the people were located that watched my videos. Obviously, it's going to be England mostly. If I look at the county and the country, and then the age and the gender, I can see that that's the age group of the people that are watching my videos. So I can use all of this data and all of this information to shape my content going forwards, looking at who's engaging with it, what times they're looking at it, when they're dropping off. And it can help inform me for my future content. The mentions and tags is a helpful tool because when you mention the Suffolk coast in your social media, this is where I see it. And I can see which businesses have tagged us in posts, and I can decide whether whether we can share it, whether we want to repost it, retweet it. Not retweet it, that's the wrong platform. Don't talk about that one now, do we? Whether I'm going to share your story, whether I'm going to post your stuff onto our grid. And it also shows me how well your posts have performed. So I can see which of your content is the best performing. And obviously, if yours is performing well, I'll share it onto ours. And then vice versa. If you share our our highly performing content onto your platforms, it then helps with your engagement too. You can look at it in your feed. So if you say, okay, I want to actually look at how my feed looks or how it looks to the general public when they're looking at my Facebook page or my Instagram account, you can see there how it actually looks in the feed. If you tab into the stories, this may not have loaded actually. Oh no, it did. I can see how long my story was and how long it's got remaining, because stories only last for 24 hours. So I can see on there how long we've got remaining left on that story to run. And I can see how well they're performing. We're now going to just do a quick go into insights, which are probably the most important bit. So insights is your analytics for Facebook and Instagram. When you log in, it will give you an overview. So at the moment, it gives you a daily overview of performance. It always goes with the last 28 days, the overview is. If you want to delve in a little deeper, you can then go into the other tabs. So we're going to click here, and we're going to change the date range to February. And I can see in February, these are the stats. It also gives me how they compare month on month with my previous month or the previous date range. So here it shows me, Facebook will give me a weekly plan, and it will tell me what I should be doing to gain most engagement. You can look at these and, they are relatively useful, but you might want to take some of them with a pinch of salt, especially if you don't use ads. And it tells me I should be publishing 61 stories on Instagram in a week. It's quite a lot of stories. So going down, it gives me an overview of my performance. So we've reached, in February, we've reached 101,000 people, 1,000 people, and then content interactions, how many followers we've got. So we've got 26,000 on Facebook, and how many clicks we've had from our Facebook content through to our website, and how many minutes have been viewed of our videos. So then it puts it into a nice graph format, and it gives you the breakdown, the exact numbers here. It tells me of that reach breakdown, which are from organic and which are from ads. So if you're running any Facebook ads, that will show you what proportion of your reach came from the paid advertising and what has come from organic. It tells you how this compares month on month. February is always down on January because January is a longer month. And it tells me how I can improve my content and engagement. And it gives you tips, which are helpful if you want to keep an eye on those. It gives you the estimated audience size. So it's telling me people who have seen your content from my page, which is about 305,000, and people who have seen content who have not seen it. So it tells you how many people of your audience have seen it and who hasn't. So it's about 50-50 at the moment. So delving in a little bit further, the graph here in results shows you your Facebook reach and your Instagram reach. That is the amount of people that your content has gone out to. I can see here, and this is where you start to, again, use this information to think about your content, because on both platforms, I can see that on the 11th of February, I've had quite a spike. So I've had a spike in engagement. So I think, okay, I'm going to go back to my planner or back to my content, look at what I posted around the 11th to see what post it was that was so well engaged with, because those posts, I'm going to put more of those into my content planner going forwards, because they're the content which people are enjoying the most. The visits tab is really helpful, because that actually is a Facebook visit is someone that is, or an Instagram visit is someone that has actually gone to your profile. Once someone has liked your page, they receive that your content in their feed. But if they're actively going to your page, it shows that they've got real intent to engage with your brand. So that's a really good number to keep an eye on. That's an overview of your followers. Just worth knowing that followers on Facebook are different to likes. Followers actually mean that they receive your content into their feed. And then my ad trends. So I can see that I was running an advert, and I can see the amount of paid impressions and paid reach that I gained from those adverts. I can export them. So if you need to do a report, you can easily export any of this data or print it off or save it. I'm going to click on my audience. So this shows me who is looking at my content, where they're based, what they're interested in, and what they're doing. So you can't change the date range, because your audience is the total number of people. So at the moment, we've got 26,000 followers on Facebook, 14,237 on Instagram. I can tell the gender. So they're roughly the same, give or take a few. Although we have got a slightly more balanced age spread on Instagram than we have on Facebook. Scrolling down, I can see where they're located. So on Facebook, it's Ipswich, Lowestoft and London. Generally, London is always in the top 3 on our Facebook. And for Instagram, it's London. So that helps inform my content moving forward, because I know that our biggest audience is not on the Suffolk coast. They are living further afield. Whereas with Facebook, we maybe have a slightly more local audience that are moving around the county. I can look at the countries as well. So that's why we tailor our content across Facebook and Instagram differently to target the different audiences and speak to them in a slightly different way. The potential audience, now you can filter this down. This is the potential audience that I can reach on Facebook. You can then obviously filter it based on location, but let's just go with who, and then it shows you where most people are located. So again, London is the biggest audience. Now, this is a really helpful tool, a bit like with T-Stats, is you can use Facebook Insights to see how your business is performing against others that are in a similar field to yourself. So you can I can see that the Suffolk Coast DMO, in terms of our content, is higher, has a higher percentile than the others that we're following. And it shows you, compared to other similar organisations, how well you are faring in terms of the number of Facebook followers and follows on Instagram. And the businesses to watch tab, this is where you can get nosy. You can actually select a business, any business you like, to compare your business with. So here I've compared us with some other DMOs. So Visit Cornwall. We've got a little way to go to reach them. Great Yarmouth, that one there isn't actually a DMO. It's a sort of a community tourism group. Suffolk Coast, so we actually beat Visit Norwich. We're higher than Visit North Norfolk. We're higher than All About Ipswich. We're higher than Visit Norfolk. We're higher than Visit Suffolk. We're higher than Bury St Edmunds. We're higher than Great Yarmouth. We're higher than Visit East of England. Woo! So in answer to the person who said, what's the difference between the DMOs? Anyway, but you can put in your competitors, and you can see how well your social media content is performing against your competitors. So that's a really handy tool. So if you want to be a bit nosy. So we're now down to the just the content, which is really, I'll do a really quick go around here. Ooh, it's a bit blurry there. So like I sort of touched on before, when you're looking at your content, this actually gives you insights on your specific content, on your posts, you can change the date range. And it tells me how many people I've reached with my content, so with my posts, compared to the last 90 days as well. It'll always give you a comparison on things. It tells me what content was most engaged with, so images were the highest, followed by videos and links. And tells me the format that was most engaged with there. So albums, shared posts and other posts. Scrolling down, it tells me which posts were most engaged with. So we've got the amount, the reach, which is who it went out to. Engagement is the content which people engaged with the most. And again, it's album posts. Album posts are always really good because you are forcing someone to click your content. If you've got more than one photo, people will click it to scroll. If you just put one photo up, there's no reason for someone to click that post. They can scroll past your photo and see it in its entirety. If you use an album, they have to click it. So that's an engagement, which then means that your content will be served to them again. And at the bottom, it tells me my top performing organic posts in the last 90 days. So we've got a video, we've got a Christmas post, and we've got the highest number of comments was on one of our competitions, which is generally the case with us. That was to win a stay at the Westleton Crown. So like I said before, you can go into each bit of content. You can also look at your videos. So if you post videos regularly, you can analyze your videos, and it tells you how many minutes have been viewed, how many 3-second views you've had of your videos, how many 1-minute views, and how many comments you've had on your videos as well. So it just gives you a summary here. And then scrolling down again. So that's that 11th of February. So what was it I did on the 11th of February that was so good? So I can see here, recent content. It shows me all of the videos that I've posted. I can look at who's following and what our audience is doing with our videos. And hopefully the performance comparison wasn't loading. As I said, Facebook does that a lot, or Meta does it a lot. But it shows me how many people how many followers looked at our videos, which was 1.9, and how many non-followers looked. So I've got 10.4 thousand people who have looked at our videos, have watched our videos, that aren't a follower of our Facebook page. So I look at that and think, right, how do I engage them? How do I get them to actually make that click to follow our page? And then you can delve in further into how your videos have all performed. So most of the video views from the Suffolk coast are actually from people who haven't yet liked our Facebook page. A huge percentage. So I need to work out a way of getting those people and encouraging them to like the page. And then I can look by video which post has performed the best and how each video has performed. So just scrolling down and it pulls in all of the videos there, and I can see the insights. Just gives you a bit of information as well on trends, audience trends here. And how many views have come in from followers, and as I said, how many have come in from non-followers. And how many 1-minute viewers we've had there. And scrolling down again. You can look at the demographics of your followers, although that one wasn't pulling through particularly well. There you go. I was having a funny 5 minutes when I did this. And we'll scroll up again. And then the last tab at the bottom is your inbox. And this is really helpful just for managing your your comments and people that are messaging your page. So helpfully, if you want to, you can go straight to your inbox, reply to any comments you've got, look at any of your messages that you've got there, reply to comments, and also reply on Instagram. So you're not having to constantly toggle between your Facebook page and your Instagram on your phone. It's all helpfully here. Meta's rounded it up, brought it all together, so you can helpfully manage both your platforms. That was a real whistle-stop tour, obviously. A lot of information there. But if anyone wants to ask any questions or wants any help afterwards, I will speak to you in the break. Thank you very much.
Brilliant.